Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are tackling a word that is, well, it's surprisingly perfect and also just a little bit unflattering.
Just a little.
We're talking about slop.
That's right. Merriam Webster's 2025 word of the year is slop.
It sounds like something you'd find in a trough, not in a dictionary's top spot.
Exactly. And it really triggers this, visceral reaction for anyone who's been on the internet lately. So as we get into this, I want you to keep a couple of questions in mind.
Okay.
First, where are you personally seeing the worst of this digital slop? And second, this is the big one. What's the actual difference between your quality AI output and everyone else's obvious, undeniable slop?
And that right there is the core of this whole thing. That's what we're digging into. Slop is the name for this tidal wave of low-quality, usually AI mass-produced digital content.
Mm-hmm.
I saw one commentator describe it as a ruptured sewer pipe flooding the internet, which is just a perfect image.
It's gross, but it's accurate. So our mission today is to unpack all of it. The irony, the actual academic work trying to measure it, and what this all means for how we create and consume, well, everything.
We've got a fantastic breakdown ahead, and if you enjoy this kind of deep dive and you want to feel genuinely informed, do us a quick favor like subscribe, follow the channel. It really helps us out.
I appreciate it.
Okay, so let's start with the definition, because the central paradox just smacks you in the face immediately.
Right.
We all complain about this AI slop, but at the same time, we're asking ChatGPT or Claude or whatever our favorite bot is to write our emails, build our presentations.
Oh, yeah. Draft our social media posts, everything.
We have this deep-seated belief that our stuff is quality, the slop. That's what other people make.
And this is all happening in an environment of just total AI saturation. It's the chatbot explosion. I mean, you hear people at the office whispering, oh, I don't really use ChatGPT.
Right.
While they have Claude open in another tab for the 15th time that day trying to craft the perfect email.
It's not just the chatbots either. The content is everywhere. The research we saw shows major platforms, we're talking YouTube, Wikipedia, Spotify, Pinterest, they're all just drowning in it.
It's an infestation. Generated images, algorithmic music, generic travel blogs, clogging up every search result.
And people are noticing. I mean, they have to be. The metric that really stood out to me was that searches for the word slop shot up by 300% in 2025.
300%. Wow.
It went from this niche internet term to a mainstream word almost overnight. It's the sound of that sewer pipe bursting.
And you just have to wonder how many of those searches were people asking their own AI assistant, hey, what is slop?
While generating it. That is the beautiful irony. So why this word? Why did slop beat out everything else for Merriam Webster?
Well, the president of Merriam Webster, Greg Barlow, he put it pretty simply. He said the word was chosen because it's fascinating, annoying, and a little ridiculous.
That about sums it up.
It really does. It
Yeah.
captures that feeling of being kind of impressed by the speed and scale of AI, but also deeply irritated by the results.
It's the cultural moment, isn't it? We're all suddenly very worried about authenticity online.
We are. And we're, expressing that concern in these very passionate, eloquent LinkedIn posts about human creativity.
That were probably drafted by AI.
There's a very high probability, yes.
And this whole thing is powered by what the sources call the slop economy. This isn't just a trend. It's driven by money. It's quantity over quality for ad revenue.
Absolutely. Why spend a week writing one great article when an AI can churn out 47 mediocre ones before lunch? The algorithm doesn't reward insight. It rewards volume and keywords.
Which brings us back to that core contradiction. Everyone is complaining about slop. Everyone is creating slop, and absolutely no one thinks their slop is slop.
It's beautiful, really. This level of collective cognitive dissonance. We see the flaws everywhere else, but grant ourselves a total exemption. We want higher standards for what we consume, but not for what we produce.
Let's make this more concrete. What are some of the classic examples of slop in the wild? I mean, the janky video has to be number one.
Oh, for sure.
You know them. 10 amazing facts about success. The narrator sounds like a robot having an existential crisis while reading a shopping list.
And the visuals are just random stock footage that has nothing to do with anything. Pure, unadulterated slop.
Then you've got the keyword-stuffed blog posts, the ones written purely for Google.
Ugh, yes. Where you read a sentence like, productivity is important for being productive if you want the best productivity. It's just a grammatical car crash designed to catch a search query.
And it's not all harmless. The research also pointed to something called propaganda light.
Right. It's basically amateur misinformation, but now it's written with, better grammar, so it looks more legitimate on the surface. AI gives it a sheen of credibility that makes it harder to just dismiss out of hand.
So it's gotten so bad that scientists are actually trying to formally measure it?
Yeah, this part is fascinating. Researchers at Northeastern University and Meta AI actually developed a taxonomy, a real classification system for identifying slop.
Okay, so how do you scientifically measure digital garbage? What are the markers?
They boiled it down to three main things. The first is what they call low coherence.
Low coherence.
Basically, the ideas don't connect logically. The sentences might be fine on their own, but they're strung together like a drunk person's train of thought. It's not building an argument. It's just a list of related facts.
Okay, that makes sense. What's the second marker?
A heavy use of overused phrases. These are the greatest hits of corporate AI speak.
Ah, like delve into leverage and synergy.
Exactly. When you see those words over and over, it's a huge red flag that a machine wrote it, not a person trying to be original.
And the third?
It's the structure. AI has this weird love for list-like structures. The sources called it the bullet journal of content creation. It's the safest way for the model to organize information without, making things up. So if you see something that constantly breaks down into bullet points and numbered lists, that's a key trait of slop.
It's the path of least resistance for the algorithm. So how are we, the humans, reacting to all this? Because the stats are, well, they're all over the place.
They really are.
For instance, 87% of people say they find AI content amusing. They're laughing at the weird stuff, sharing it.
While also complaining about it. And then you have this. 93% of people say they have a growing skepticism of AI content. They don't trust it.
But, and this is the kicker, they only distrust it when it's made by someone else.
Exactly. If they generated it themselves for a report or a post, they trust it implicitly. They are the one exception to their own rule.
So, to sum it up, 100% of us demand better quality from everyone else's AI.
While happily churning out our own. But the industry is trying to fight back. I mean, they have to. YouTube is tightening its monetization rules to cut off the incentive for spam.
Right, and you have human editors on Wikipedia working overtime, basically deleting all the junk that other humans asked machines to write.
Spotify, Pinterest, they're all trying to build better filters for AI junk. But this leads to the ultimate paradox of the cure.
Which is?
Every single platform is fighting AI-generated slop, using more AI. The tools they use to filter it are just as complex as the tools that created it.
The sources called it using gasoline to put out a fire.
It's the perfect analogy. You're stuck in this algorithmic arms race.
So if the cure is just more of the disease, what does the future even look like? The sources laid out 4 potential paths forward.
Right. The first one is pretty obvious. Just better AI tools.
Which sounds good, but the sources warn this could just lead to higher quality slop. You know, stuff that's more convincing but still hollow.
The second path is more human oversight, bringing editors and fact-checkers back into the loop to, well, fix what the AI messed up.
So the AI just becomes a really fast, sloppy intern.
Pretty much. The third path is about responsible development.
Yeah.
This whole mess being a wake-up call to actually think before we ask AI to write everything for us.
And the fourth, which they called a revolutionary concept,
I love this one.
is adopting new standards, just actually caring about quality over quantity again.
A radical idea, I know. But ultimately, the solution seems to be more AI, just hopefully guided by more thoughtful humans. And we'll probably be complaining about that new, better slop in 2026.
Which really brings us to the synthesis here. Slop is the perfect word because it's a mirror of right now. AI made everyone a publisher.
But it also turned the internet into a factory with zero quality control. We're all, both the factory owner and the consumer, complaining about the product.
The big takeaway for you listening has to be a renewed sense of critical thinking. We have to question what we're consuming, but maybe more importantly, what we're creating.
The novel idea is to actually read things and think about them, not just generate them.
And that's the final punchline, isn't it? We're all demanding authenticity while we actively outsource our own voices to algorithms. The sources put it perfectly. The real slop was the hypocrisy we generated along the way.
The joke isn't the content. The joke is us.
So here's the thought we want to leave you with to chew on. If we keep outsourcing our core analysis, our voice, our actual perspective to these algorithms, what happens to the idea of authenticity itself? Does it just become another premium product you have to pay for?
Something to think about.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of slop. We'll catch you next time.